Okay, now you've created your first video, you've done your keyword research, you've got your slick thumbnail, your catchy title. Where are all the views? Well, unfortunately, just because you've created a searchable video doesn't mean that YouTube's going to include it in their search. Remember, 300 hours uploaded every minute.
The truth is, in our experience, we found that YouTube helps those that help themselves. Which brings us to one of the most important topics we're going to cover, self-promotion. One of the things that I think we've done really well, which has contributed a lot to our growth, is our self-promotion strategy, which is basically to post our videos anywhere and everywhere that will take them. We even posted our very first financial video in a small subreddit about financial independence, and it received almost 900 views, which is far from viral, but for our first kind of real YouTube video was staggering to us. What's more interesting is that that initial success sent some sort of signal to YouTube, because now it has over 50,000 views and only 5% of them come from external sources like that initial subreddit. All of the rest of those views are from YouTube recommending it to other people, either on the sidebar, after one of our other video ends, or on people's homepage. Thanks, YouTube.
Here's a graph of our daily views from the beginning of our channel. First, notice there's a healthy slope upwards. That's nice to see. Growth was slow in the beginning, but now just a year and a half later, we're getting 6,000 views a day. That's pretty incredible. Notice there are a few spikes along the way and this big cluster muck here screwing up this pretty graph. Those are all from us promoting ourselves outside YouTube. Let's talk about a few of those spikes, and keep in mind, we've never paid a dime for advertising.
So a lot of these are hard to see because our views have grown so much now in the last few months that it kind of dwarfs these other spikes. But you have to remember, a few years ago, a spike like this, 1,200 views in a day, was amazing to us. So I just want to talk about just a couple of these, the big ones here, so you can kind of get an idea what major blogs and magazine outlets will do for your channel. All right, this first spike here is the Reddit post that we talked about in a previous video about our plan for financial independence. So this was our first major self-promotion, and as you can see, 1,200 views was absolutely amazing for us. This one here on 7/24/2014 is when we interviewed one of my favorite bloggers, Paula Pant from AffordAnything.com. We just did a quick interview with her at her home in Atlanta, and she posted the video on her own blog, which, as you can see, sent about 1,500 people our way just in one day. That actually added up to closer to 6,000 or 7,000 views. This one on August 14th, 2014 is what the front page of Reddit actually looks like. And it was actually a little bit disappointing. I made a Frankenstein light switch and I created a tutorial about how I made it, and it made it all the way to, I think, number 22 on the front page of Reddit. And it only sent over 5,000 views, which, you know, for a site that has, 70 million users, I think, was a little disappointing. But I think it's because you can't link directly to a YouTube video and a DIY how-to. So the link was kind of embedded in the tutorial and just not that many people sought it out. So that's what that looks like. This one here on November 25th, 2014 is the front page of Instructables.com. I frequently post my projects there, and they not only featured it, but they put it on the homepage. So that's what that looks like. This right here represents Popular Mechanics and Lifehacker. I think this is Lifehacker, and then the next day or two, this was Popular Mechanics. I made a folding extension cord organizer, and it was picked up by both outlets. They not only drove a lot of traffic, but this is the signal we're talking about with YouTube, where once you promote yourself outside of YouTube, YouTube then kind of takes over. And all this was just YouTube. This growth from seeing 1,500 views a day to suddenly 5,000 or 6,000 was just because of these inbound links from major media sources like that. So you want to promote yourself, and hopefully if you get picked up, YouTube will see that as a sign that your content is worth promoting themselves, and then before you know it, it kind of explodes.